The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Let's be real. You work. You worry. You wait. You wonder. These are the challenges of life on the farm. As a community bank, First Bank & Trust understands this rural reality. They're big enough to help ag producers grow for the future and small enough to get to know you right now. Our ag bankers have ag backgrounds, which means we'll help you work through the tough years and make the most of the great ones. First Bank & Trust. Real banking, real easy.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those...
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities. This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Let's be real. You work. You worry. You wait. You wonder. These are the challenges of life on the farm. As a community bank, First Bank & Trust understands this rural reality. They're big enough to help ag producers grow for the future and small enough to get to know you right now. Our ag bankers have ag backgrounds, which means we'll help you work through the tough years and make the most of the great ones. First Bank & Trust. Real banking, real easy.
Farmers know crop insurance is essential for managing risk. It's also valuable for maximizing revenue. The crop insurance officers at Farm Credit Services of America have proprietary tools and expertise to deliver the personalized crop and revenue protection you need for the peace of mind you want. Nobody delivers crop insurance like this. Discover the difference by calling 800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV. There's no better organization that gives back to the student athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at GoTanagers.com. While you're there, check out team apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports games. Join the Vermillion Boosters today and go Tanagers!
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Hi, this is Kristen Cunningham with Chic Boutique by Kristen & Company in Centerville, South Dakota. We are an all-size inclusive boutique offering sizes small through 3X on many items, including denim jeans and jackets, shackets, pants, skirts, graphic tees and sweatshirts, joggers, school swag, hats and caps, many fashion accessories including purses and lots of jewelry. And we also offer gift items for birthdays and weddings. Get your shopping fix at 636 Broadway Street, Centerville, South Dakota. Open Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 7, and Saturday, 10 to 4.
Let's be real. You work, you worry, you wait, you wonder. These are the challenges of life on the farm. As a community bank, First Bank & Trust understands this rural reality. We're big enough to help ag producers grow for the future and small enough to get to know you right now. Our ag bankers have ag backgrounds, which means we'll help you work through the tough years and make the most of the great ones. First Bank & Trust. Real banking, real easy. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Lime's.
Well, good evening and welcome to Ponca, Nebraska, as we get you set for this cross-state matchup tonight between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Ponca Indians, along with our producer and color man for tonight, Cole Larsh. I'm Heath Nimke. What is a wonderful Tuesday, well, throughout the day Tuesday, honestly. A little windy out there, but when it comes to the farming season, it's been great to have the kind of weather that we have had. However, things certainly are going to be changing a little bit later on. Now, inside the gymnasium coming up for tonight, well, it's a packed house taking on for Ponca, Nebraska, and the Vermillion Tanagers. Both teams come in here pretty evenly matched overall. The Vermillion girls coming in 7-2 after finding a win against the T-Area Titans a couple weeks ago. They have certainly struggled ever since then, only winning one set against the Yankton Gazelles, falling to the Yankton Gazelles and Del Rapids last week. And it's going to be a very busy week for the Vermillion girls this week as they have this game tonight. They get ready to take on a great Canton Seahawks team on Thursday. And then on Saturday, it is the DAC 12 matchup. Now we'll see plenty of other great opponents. At this time, Vermillion not quite for sure who they're going to be playing against, but certainly going to be a busy time for the girls. On the opposite side, the Ponca Indians, they also continued their busy trek and also end of the season. In fact, this is their final regular season game before they have a triangular that comes up on Thursday against two other teams, and that will officially end the season for the Ponca Indians, at which point they'll find out where they're going to be playing at in the C2 regions for the state of Nebraska. But should be a lot of excitement coming up for the Ponca Indians, as we'll dive more into them coming up here in just a moment, and also take a look at the Vermillion Tanagers and take more look at the rest of this season for Vermillion and what they all have in store. We're going to take our first break. Big thank you to our sponsors as well, including the Vermillion Boosters. And Tanager fans, don't forget this Friday night is the final home regular season game at Vermillion High School. And coming up this Friday, the Vermillion Boosters are helping out with the Vermillion School Foundation at their tailgate, as they are having a Tanagers touchdown tailgate that begins at 5:30 until kickoff. And they'll have some great items to select from, to eat, I should say, and plenty to check out there. This is all to help raise money for the Vermillion Public School Foundation. Again, free will donations will also support field trips and other great learning experiences for all at Vermillion Public High School. So big thank you to the Vermillion High School Boosters for helping out the Tanagers touchdown tailgate. That's happening this Friday, 5:30, before kickoff against the Madison Bulldogs. It's time for our first time out. When we come back, we take a look more at the Ponca Indians. That's on the way here on Live Ticket TV.
Stone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities. This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Let's be real. You work. You worry. You wait. You wonder. These are the challenges of life on the farm. As a community bank, First Bank & Trust understands this rural reality. They're big enough to help ag producers grow for the future and small enough to get to know you right now. Our ag bankers have ag backgrounds, which means we'll help you work through the tough years and make the most of the great ones. First Bank & Trust. Real banking, real easy.
Farmers know crop insurance is essential for managing risk. It's also valuable for maximizing revenue. The crop insurance officers at Farm Credit Services of America have proprietary tools and expertise to deliver the personalized crop and revenue protection you need for the peace of mind you want. Nobody delivers crop insurance like this. Discover the difference by calling 800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here.
Back here at Ponca High School as we continue to get set for a volleyball matchup tonight in a cross-state matchup between the Ponca Indians and the Vermillion Tanagers. This has become a little bit more of common opponents between these two teams. Now, it's been common for the last few years that Vermillion and Ponca have met on the basketball court, whether in Vermillion or, of course, in Ponca, which is expected to happen once again this year for the Vermillion girls basketball team. But also this has been happening the past few years for volleyball as well and should be exciting. Of course, this comes just at the right time for the Ponca High School girls as they are wrapping up their season. In fact, this Thursday, once again, this is their final regular season game that is not a triangular. You go all the way back to the end of August 25th is when Ponca officially got their season underway and have been going ever since then. Of course, things are a little bit different as well when it comes to teams you play in the state of Nebraska, how games are counted as, and just whatnot if you haven't. Because again, Ponca coming into this is 25 games into their season, 15-10 overall. But you look at the opponents that they have played, there is so much of a difference than, again, what you see in the state of South Dakota. In fact, this is a rare occasion that Ponca is playing an opponent that is bigger than them. Now, when it comes to classifications in the state of South Dakota, it's simple for volleyball. It goes by AA, A, and B. In the state of Nebraska, it goes by D2, D1, C2, C1, B, and A. It's very, very rare that a C2 team like the Ponca Indians will ever play an A team. It's a little rare as well playing a B team, but that is what Vermillion would be classified as. In fact, they have played a B team, if you will, from the state of South Dakota. That was Dakota Valley, losing in 3 straight sets to the Panthers. In fact, that was 12 days ago. Otherwise, they've also played against South Sioux City, another team that Vermillion saw earlier this season, with the Ponca Indians getting a 3-1 set victory in that. Otherwise, when you look at who they play a lot of teams twice throughout the season. They play teams all the way up from C1 down to almost as low as D2. In fact, you can look at the triangulars that they host. They'll play D2 teams like Why Not from the state of Nebraska, just north of us, where we find ourselves at in Ponca. Usually, they can win those kind of competitions, but again, when they play those tougher competitions, they haven't always had the biggest success this season. Another thing, when you look at the Ponca Indians and catching them up with Coach Nelson before this game, she said there's really no one who stands out on this Ponca team. There's not one or two particular players that you really need to look at, that you really need to watch for. Another big thing that the Ponca Indians, kind of like the Vermillion Tanagers themselves, don't go extremely deep into their squad. They like the rotation that they have, and they will continue to keep it at that pace. It's something we have seen all season long. And of course, in the state of Nebraska, a lot easier to find stats than it is for the state of South Dakota. But again, looking at those stats, there's really no one who will jump out to you and say, you have to watch this player. She can come through with big kills. She can come through with big aces. It's very, very even all across the court. But again, Ponca would like to wrap up their season on a great note. They have this game tonight before taking on in a triangular hosted by Hartington Newcastle. They'll have Walt Hill and also Hartington Newcastle coming up on Thursday before they go into their Lewis and Clark Conference Tournament that will be held. Of course, still don't know the opponent there. Have to wait till the very end of the season and see how conference turns out to find out where exactly and who they will be playing. And now let's look at the Ponca Indians. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the Vermillion Tanagers, talk about their season so far, and also talk a little bit more about the regions, as the season is coming closer to an end for the Vermillion Tanagers. where they might find themselves in just a few weeks' time. That's all on the way here on Live Ticket TV.
Times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV. There's no better organization that gives back to the student athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at GoTanagers.com. While you're there, check out team apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports games. Join the Vermillion Boosters today and go Tanagers.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Hi, this is Kristen Cunningham with Chic Boutique by Kristen & Company in Centerville, South Dakota. We are an all-size inclusive boutique offering sizes small through 3X on many items, including denim jeans and jackets, shackets, pants, skirts, graphic tees and sweatshirts, joggers, school swag, hats and caps, many fashion accessories including purses and lots of jewelry. And we also offer gift items for birthdays and weddings. Get your shopping fix at 636 Broadway Street, Centerville, South Dakota, open Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 7, and Saturday, 10 to 4.
Back here in Ponca, Nebraska, as we're getting you set for some varsity volleyball action, as so far it has been the Ponca Indians 4-0 over the Vermillion Tanagers. The JV set went into a little bit of extra volleyball, but eventually pulling away, winning 27-25 were the Ponca Indians. Tonight's broadcast is made possible by our Vermillion sponsors, including Chic Boutique with Kristen & Company. Treat Kristen's Closet like your own. Enjoy refreshments while shopping and relaxing with your gal pals. They'd love to have you. You can always text Kristen at 605-231-1610 to book your private shopping event or to find out more by visiting them on Facebook. You'll receive host rewards for inviting your friends too, and be sure to let Kristen & Company know that you heard it on Live Ticket TV with Vermillion. Of course, that's Chic Boutique with Kristen & Company in Centerville, South Dakota, and they have their fall festival coming up in Centerville, coming up not this week, but next week, with a lot of different activities, including live music. I know Kristen & Company will also have their shop set up right outside their door. All the main action is happening right there on Main Street. Well, when it comes to this season, it seems like no matter where you're at in Class 11A, there's always one conference that is going to be towards the top. And of course, as we know, volleyball is exactly the same. That is, the DAC-12 conference just has so many different great teams. Vermillion in that conference. And when you look at what we've seen so far this season from the DAC-12, it's been impressive. Sioux Falls Christian, no surprise there, #1 overall according to the polls that were released yesterday. Dakota Valley, who has lost against Sioux Falls Christian, comes in at #2. But maybe the biggest surprise of this season has been the 4 seed, and that is Canton Seahawks, I should say, 4th-ranked Canton Seahawks at 16-3 overall. The other top 5 includes Wagner and Platte Geddes. Receiving votes, Elkton Lake Benton, Rapid City Christian, and Miller. But again, 3 out of the top 5 come from the DAC-12. That will be in the DAC-12 tournament that is coming up later on this weekend on Saturday. But more specifically, when it comes to Vermillion Tanagers, you don't look at how you're doing in the DAC-12. Yes, it matters. You get to see a lot of great competition. But ultimately, you look at the region, and that is how playoffs are determined. Well, I guess I should say the region playoffs. You try to make it out of the region, you try to make it into the final 16, and from there you try to make it into the state tournament. Well, we have to look at Dakota Valley and Canton as 2 teams that have been phenomenal, because Vermillion, more specifically in Class A, finds themselves in Region 4, where Dakota Valley and Canton are also out of that division. Right now, the standings with Dakota Valley at 20-4 overall, but more specifically ahead by .792 in seed points over the Canton Seahawks. In 3rd place, it is the Elk Point Jefferson Huskies. Beersford is in 4th at 10-13 overall, and there is a pretty big gap between 3rd and 4th when it comes to seed points for the playoffs. In 5th place right now, it's Lennox. 6th is the Vermillion Girls at 7-12 overall. T-Area is at 7th, and Parker is down in the 8th position. So if playoffs were to just start tonight, let's say, Vermillion would play against Elk Point Jefferson in Elk Point. But again, there's a few more games coming up, a part of the schedule as we talked about. This game tonight against Ponca, which is going to have to be recalculated because the state of South Dakota didn't even have this on their schedule. This was a game that was added after the starting of the school year. Otherwise, Canton coming up later on Thursday, that DAC-12 conference on Saturday, more volleyball coming up next week, including Beersford on Tuesday, Dakota Valley next Friday, Parker on the 24th, and then Elk Point Jefferson to wrap up their season. So Vermillion Girls still looking at the schedule, still have another 7 games left to play, again wrapping up their season towards the end of October. Again, a little bit of difference from what we're seeing with the Ponca Indians, who are getting closer to wrapping up their season. Well, as they take their final warm-ups, we're almost set and ready to go. Again, if you're just tuning in, an earlier freshman and JV action, Ponca has won both sets. Now, of course, in freshmen here in the state of Nebraska, they only played to 21. In JV, Vermillion lost the second set 27-25, otherwise lost the first set by a final score of 25-18. But tonight on the varsity side, the girls are trying to get back into the winning ways, something they haven't done since, well, my mom's birthday back on September 20th, where they beat the T-Area Titans. Otherwise, it's been a loss against the Yankton Gazelles and the Dell Rapids Quarters, trying to find their very first win of the month of October. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by First Bank and Trust. Enjoy the convenience of digital banking from anywhere, including fast and secure mobile and online options. Customized features let you streamline banking tasks across all platforms, even other financial institutions. Banking has never been easier with First Bank and Trust. And also, our game is brought to you by our scoreboard sponsor, Farmers Union Insurance. Why choose Farmers Union Insurance? Well, they value what's important to you and your way of life. Whether you're a driver, homeowner, farmer, or business owner, let them show how they can provide the protection you need. Find your local agent in Yankton James Murphy and get started today You can also find out more at farmersunioninsurance.com. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, it's time for varsity action between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Ponca Indians. That's on the way next here on Live Ticket TV.
Let's be real. You work, you worry, you wait, you wonder. These are the challenges of life on the farm. As a community bank, First Bank and Trust understands this rural reality. We're big enough to help ag producers grow for the future and small enough to get to know you right now. Our ag bankers have ag backgrounds, which means we'll help you work through the tough years and make the most of the great ones. First Bank and Trust. Real banking, real easy. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities. This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Let's be real. You work, you worry, you wait, you wonder. These are the challenges of life on the farm. As a community bank, First Bank and Trust understands this rural reality. We're big enough to help ag producers grow for the future and small enough to get to know you right now. Our ag bankers have ag backgrounds, which means we'll help you work through the tough years and make the most of the great ones. First Bank and Trust. Real banking, real easy.
Farmers know crop insurance is essential for managing risk. It's also valuable for maximizing revenue. The crop insurance officers at Farm Credit Services of America have proprietary tools and expertise to deliver the personalized crop and revenue protection you need for the peace of mind you want. Nobody delivers crop insurance like this. Discover the difference by calling 800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here.
Times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
ready to go here in Ponca, Nebraska for some varsity volleyball action between the Ponca Indians and the Vermillion Tanagers. I'm Heath Nimke along with producer and color man for us tonight, Cole Larsch. Let's get set and ready to go for this matchup featuring the Vermillion Tanagers, 7-12 overall, taking on the Ponca Indians, who are 15-10 overall, getting closer to wrapping up their regular season. The Ponca Indians, the Vermillion Tanagers, getting ready for the rest of this month of October, which gets back into their busy part of the schedule as well. Again, thank you to our sponsors here on Live Ticket TV, the Ponca Indians in their pink uniforms to support breast cancer research, whereas the Vermillion Tanagers in their away uniforms that are in black with numbers and letters that are in red with long red and black shoulders. And we are underway here in Ponca, Nebraska. Great crowd on hand as Voss tries to send one over the net. Miscommunication and an early point for the Vermillion Tanagers. Well, Cole Larsch, let's open up with this right away. I know this is probably a unique experience for you, not really getting to call sports in the state of Nebraska, but when you look across the side to the Ponca Indians, pretty cool support that they have here tonight for some volleyball.
Yeah, this is a really packed gym. I was kind of surprised walking in. It seemed a little empty, and then as soon as I got here, just people started filing in, and it's awesome to have a big crowd in these games because a big crowd can really help your team one way or the other.
Now, granted, it was also player night tonight, so the players got introduced in between the JV and varsity game. But, of course, as we know in the state of Nebraska, especially in these smaller towns I was mentioning earlier, C2, D1, D2, the town, this is what they get behind. This is what they like to do, is come out and enjoy some volleyball. Whether it's a Tuesday or a Thursday, Saturday, whatever it may be, get out there and enjoy it. But right now, they haven't had a whole lot to cheer about as Vermillion is opening up quickly here. They lead it 4-0 over the Ponca Indians as Claire Doty is up to serve. Gets it over nicely, sends it to the back corner, popped up in the air in the back row as the Indians are able to dish it over. Set up once again, and Vermillion with Barnett will just send it quickly over the net, off the top, dug up by Doty, got the first hit. Ani did take a deflection with a block, no, point to Vermillion. Coach Nelson disagrees with that, and the Ponca Indians will get their first point. Also apologize, no Coach Zeller with us this evening, mainly comes down, I don't want to blame it on me, but you could probably put the blame on me. A block there, unsuccessful at the net for Samantha Ayers, and it will be a point for the Vermillion Tanagers. This game was added late even to our schedule. Didn't get permission to come in and stream this game until about 10:30 this morning. Of course, in the state of Nebraska, the streaming rules are a little bit different from the state of South Dakota. You have to play by the host rules. Of course, great relationship with Mr. Bob Hayes, the athletic director. I've got my chance to know Coach Hayes over the past few years following sports, and he said after we got everything sorted out, said, of course, come on in and be able to stream this game tonight. It's been a good start for the Vermillion Tanagers as well, as Barnett just barely gets it over the net. Vermillion leading it 6-1. Here comes Serena Gap sending it back row. Dug up by the Librero for the Indians. But closing out once again was O'Neal. Here comes Gap, blocked there at the net this time by the Indians. This time Voss is going to go over the blockers, but dug up once again. Got a little rally going. First really sustained rally that we have seen of the game. And this one, a hard one to Ani. Takes deflection off her arms, goes out of bounds. 6-2. Indians trail by 4.
I was just going to say those first 7 points or whatever seemed to go by really fast, so it was good for that. I think that rally was good for both teams, just for them to settle in a little bit and just slow down.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It certainly has been kind of quick pace, as you mentioned. Even seemed like that, though, in the JV and freshman games. As we'll see a quick substitution. O'Neal is out, and now Brooke Jensen will come in for the first time tonight. Brooklyn Voss is up to serve. 7-2. It's a 5-point lead for the Vermillion Tanagers. as Gap has to go chasing after this one. A bad setup there that time by Puckett. Put Gap in an awkward position. You could say this is even the tri-state effect, actually. Team from the state of South Dakota taking on a team from the state of Nebraska with officials from the state of Iowa. I know Iowa's getting closer to wrapping up their volleyball season as well. Of course, unfamiliar maybe with Ponca, Nebraska. It's about 30 minutes away from Vermillion, and about, 20 miles away or so from Sioux City, right there on the border. As Cole Larsch mentioned as well, a very scenic and beautiful view to get to Ponca as well.
Absolutely. It was very enjoyable this afternoon.
8-3. Strong kill this time by Grace Evans, the outside hitter. Evans, one of the key role players, as we mentioned during the pregame show. No one really in particular that stands out. Another big player will be Ellie McAfee if someone does stand out tonight for the Ponca Indians. Again, the Indians based around a lot of what kind of the Vermillion Tanagers are. No one really shines for them either. Just kind of more of a team effort all put together. Miscommunication, battle at the net, falls on the side of Ponca Indians as the rally stays alive. Blocked once there again by the Indians. Doty just has to get it over, able to do so nicely. O'Neal digs it up. Doty sends it back to the middle. And Ani just has to get it over, but nice job by Vermillion. Another one at the net. Popped up in the air. Gap once again not set up nicely on the pass. Just has to get it over. As this rally continues, Doty with the behind-the-back knockover, able this time to work, and a big point for the Vermillion Tanagers.
Yeah, good one there. A couple key situations you had to look at. Vermillion got themselves out of it and just managed to hang in there for that long point.
9-4 here in set number 1, playing to 25. This one, a block there that takes deflection, goes out of bounds. Mentioned great crowd on hand, great student section as well. For the Ponca Indians, Vermillion can't necessarily see it as well with the camera angle, but good host of Tanager fans off to our left side. A big block there by the Indians. They draw a little bit closer, now trailing by 3 at 9-6.
It's a good job by Ponca up front to get that block up. Their hands seemed like they were a foot over the net, and that's really hard to hit over.
Dug up, O'Neal on the third hit. Able to send it over for the Vermillion Tanagers. A missed strike there by Samantha as she sends that one into the net. Something, Cole, we haven't really seen so far this season is Vermillion kind of playing with the lead. They seem like they're always kind of the comeback kids when they take on teams. And now we'll see this substitution as Emma will come in and Brooke Jensen will check out. Right now, the comeback kids, again, holding on to a 4-point lead in a service error there by Emma, who just checked on as she sends that one across the line. As mentioned to Coach Nelson earlier as well, lines can kind of be a little confusing here at Ponca High School as the free throw line, 3-point line, and volleyball lines all just kind of intersect. And they're all really the same color as well. Big kill there for the Vermillion Tanagers. Back up to a 4-point lead. Cole as well, Ponca gym has that feel of an old style gym with the colors, kind of that rustic blue, the walls that are close in, but at the same time you look around and you see looks like a brand new gym facility that's across from us, which I believe has been there, about maybe 5-6 years now. So the gym isn't necessarily new, but the way the setup is makes it look very open.
You can kind of tell how old the gym is just based on how loud it is. Those newer gyms, they're bigger, a little higher ceilings, so it's not as noisy, but I can tell through my headset that the crowd noise is definitely a lot louder than it would be in a crowd this size in Vermillion.
Yep, absolutely. 12-8. Of course, Vermillion has kind of that, well, on one side, that different sections of seating. Then on another, Vermillion, just like their own, has their own gym, or I should say workout facility that separates us where we usually sit on the broadcast side. 12-9, and a mistake there by the Vermillion Tanagers as Ponca Indians, after going down early in this one, 6-1, have made it close, but have never quite completed a comeback. Now one strong kill there at the net by Samantha once again, and the Ponca Indians draw it within 2. Serviced over. Voss tries to return the favor and is able to do so. Brooklyn Voss gets her second kill of the evening. As I mentioned, Samantha, who's been big so far with 3 kills here in this set, averages just over 2 kills in a set. This one takes deflection at the net. O'Neal jumps down late to try to dig it up. Point to the Ponca Indians, 13-11.
Ponca starting to fight back. I think they were down 6 at one point, probably, if I remember correctly. So
yeah, the highest it got was 7-1.
So it's good for them to climb back and make this one close.
Now a strong, at least attempt of a kill by Gap. Bounces all the way back to the Vermillion side. That hit off of Samantha, and then a missed strike there right at the net. Free point for Vermillion as Addison Stewart, the middle hitter, wasn't able to make full contact. 6 seniors are part of this Ponca squad as well, otherwise just a junior, a couple sophomores, and a freshman mixed into their squad. Of course, Vermillion, just their 3 seniors that include Puckett, Doty, and O'Neal. Otherwise, a still young and kind of upcoming team for Vermillion Tanagers. 15-11 as Voss just gets this one over the net. Ponca able to serve it back, and then Gap sends it down the line. Abby wasn't necessarily ready for it, knocks it the opposite way, and now we are going to get a timeout. For the Ponca Indians, tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Visit Spearfish. Surrounded by unmatched natural beauty, Spearfish offers something for everyone, old and young, the thrill seekers, and those longing for a much-needed reprieve. Plan ahead or don't. They're there to help you get on the path to unforgettable moments. You can find out more by going to visitspearfish.com. Of course, Cole Larson and I are going to get ready to visit Spearfish. And what, under 2 weeks' time, as we're going to be heading out to Belfouche, South Dakota for a little bit of Thursday night football.
I suppose.
You have road trip music? We're going to make a podcast? What are we going to do out there? I feel like we should film the whole entire experience.
I think we should.
Post that up later out there on Vermillion Tanagers Live. What is it like to ride with Heath and Cole Larson in a car? I feel like it'd get pretty wacky. I'm a pretty goofy guy. Block there at the net. And they're going to say it was 4 hits as Ponca never got it over. So point for Vermillion, 17-11.
That seemed like the right call there. It seemed like the ball came straight back off the net. It didn't come off like it hit a hand, so I think that was the right call.
Might have had a little help there as well. Even if you do send it to the net and the girls jump on the opposite side, might take a hit off them, but of course that doesn't count. Has to come over from the net. Vermillion back up to a 5-point lead though, 17-12, trying to finish off set number 1. Again, this is big for the Vermillion Tanagers. Did not win a single set the other night against Del Rapids. Struggled at times against the Yankton Gazelles. Jensen, instead of the hard hit, just went for the simple pop-up, and then Ponca sends this too far across. Trying to go cross-court there. And a point for the Vermillion Tanagers. Now up to serve will be Emma. for the Vermillion Tanagers. And now Ani can't quite dig this one up. This one goes out of bounds. 18-13. Still hanging around just that 5-point lead for the Vermillion Tanagers as they try to take set number one. A bad pass here just was sent right into the net. Claire Doty had her back turned to Jensen along with Serena Gap. A lot more smiles for this Vermillion team than what we have seen in the past. And now Doty battles at the net. 2 quick points by Ponca Indians. They bring it back within 3.
Vermillion's serve receive right now just seems off these last couple points. They can't get a good pass off the serve, and that's really affecting Doty because she's basically going to be in the net to get these last 2 sets up.
Grayson Evans is the one who is serving right now for the Indians. Another 4 hits is called, this time against the Vermillion Tanagers, and draws it within 2. As again, Evans continues to serve. Goes to Ani, except for Gap this time. Gap with a strong kill, her second of this set. Back up to a 3-point lead, and now Serena Gap up to hit. Service just creeps its way over the top of the net. Strong kill returned by the Ponca Indians. So the strong kill there was Addison Stewart as she makes her way out, and checking back in is Samantha for the Ponca Indians. 19-17. Go to 25, win by 2. Ani digs it up. Doty back to Ani, and this one down the line, point for Vermillion.
It's a good point there to kind of end this Ponca run, if you might say, and Vermillion just needs to keep up their momentum here and get the 5 last points of the set.
As Emma Bonsack will check back on. Last time serve, it was an error straight into the net. She needs to get a little something going for her squad. This one finds its way over the net. And it will go back row, and they say it went just out. Well, that one looked close. I thought that one might have hit the line. Well, it's a point for Vermillion. 21-17 as Emma up to serve once again. Back row, dig. Doty has to go a long way for it. Voss, communication there. Calls for it. Sends it over for the Vermillion Tanagers. 3 blockers there. No one able to get a piece of it. Finds its way into the back row. And a point for the Ponca Indians.
Really unfortunate there for Vermillion if you're going to send that many blockers up and just have them whiff. You put your back 3 defenders in a pretty tough spot, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, agree with that. Definitely have to make something happen. We're unable to do so. And Ponca just stays alive. Voss tries the heavy kill. Not able to do so. Popped up and just sent over. Doty, nicely to Voss, but blocked there. Vermillion sends it right back on the line. Ponca doesn't agree with the call. Of course, nothing you can argue about that as well, as you even have a little bit of fan help there on the lines. As athletic director Bob Hayes says it was in. So Vermillion back up by 4, 22-18. Ponca comes in, and there's going to be a point as the Indians wanted interference with the net. They should get it, but it doesn't matter anyways, as they do get the point. 22-19. Now up to serve, Lily Korth for the Ponca Indians. Doty sets Voss with a strong kill, and this one just out as she tried to find the back line. 22-20. Now a 2-point lead for the Vermillion Tanagers. O'Neal. Bad pass by Doty, but it's going to be a violation anyways on the Vermillion Tanagers. Net violation. 22-21. So again, Ponca, who has never had a lead in this, at one point leading by 6, a bad dig there by the Tanagers. A battle at the net. Indians set, strong kill this time by Grayson Evans, and we're tied for the first time since we were at zeros. 22-22 in set number 1.
They've gotten a lot of momentum in these past 4 points here, and now the crowd's starting to get into it to help Ponca, and we'll see how that helps them.
Voss tried to send it across court, and this one will go out as leaning back there was Peterson. And gives the point to the Vermillion Tanagers, 23-22, going to 25, win by 2. Barnett up to serve. Sends it back row. Evans, she's been trusty so far. Way too much power on this one. 24-22. And Vermillion now on set point. It's going to be the second and final timeout from the Ponca Indians. Farm Credit Services of America is a proud supporter of tonight's broadcast. American Ag has grown to become the largest, most efficient, and productive food system in the world, but remains a business of people. And everything they do, they work to become Ag's most valued financial partner. Find out how they are there for the farmer to help and grow at fcsamerica.com. Don't forget, if you'd also like to advertise on Live Ticket TV, you can always contact your local rep today. Of course, that's me, Heath Nimke. You can find my information on our commercial breaks. You can always contact me with my cell phone number, 515-571-9022. Back into action here. Vermillion trying to win set number 1, 24-22. Evans, the strong kill. They set her up perfectly, and a big point for the Ponca Indians.
A really good play there by Ponca. Good pass, good set, and an even better kill there right on the back line.
24-23. Vermillion can still win it here. O'Neal, Doty, Voss, right down the net. There was no interference with the net. The officials are going to call it 25-23. A controversial call to the end of set number 1, but Vermillion is going to win it 25-23. Cole, of course, we're fans of Vermillion, but going back to that, looked like there was some contact and interference there by Brooklyn Voss.
Yeah, they got a little bit of an argument. Watching the replay back, it seemed like she did nick the net a little bit, but I mean, should have probably been called, yes, but it's not like she drugged the whole net down. She just ticked it with her fingernail, basically.
25-23. Vermillion takes set number 1. We're back in just a moment here on Live Ticket TV. Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today, and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV. There's no better organization that gives back to the student athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at GoTanagers.com. While you're there, check out team apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports games. Join the Vermillion Boosters today and go Tanagers.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Hi, this is Kristen Cunningham with Chic Boutique by Kristen and Company in Centerville, South Dakota. We are an all-size inclusive boutique offering sizes small through 3X on many items, including denim jeans and jackets, shackets, pants, skirts, graphic tees and sweatshirts, joggers, school swag, hats and caps, many fashion accessories including purses and lots of jewelry. And we also offer gift items for birthdays and weddings. Get your shopping fix at 636 Broadway Street, Centerville, South Dakota. Open Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 7, and Saturday, 10 to 4.
Let's
Well, just as we got set number 1 underway, we'll get set number 2. Start the same exact way with Claire Doty up to serve. Welcome back to Ponca High School as Vermillion took set number 1, 25-23. And Ponca will get the first point of the night by carry against the Vermillion Tanagers. In fact, you go back to that set number 1 and now into set number 2. This is the first lead that the Ponca Indians have had all night against the Vermillion Tanagers. Ani Barnett tries to get the strong kill, blocked right there at the net. Vermillion tries to set up, miscommunication. Ani just has to get it over, able to do so. Good block there by Voss. Pokes it back over, battle at the net. Ponca, miscommunication, has to just get it over. And again, running into each other that time and giving the free point to the Vermillion, including Addison Stewart, or excuse me, that was Ellie McAfee and Grace Evans who ran into each other there. (1-1) here in set number 2, and Ani tilts her head a little awkwardly. Can't believe she made that mistake. 2-1. It's a service error, the second one we have seen of the evening. Second set here with Vermillion leading it, and a great little dish over there by Voss as she sent it over the blockers. Big point for Vermillion. Well, Corey, talk about the energy as well. Vermillion has certainly battled that themselves. Coach Nelson has made references to it so far. Have to love what you're seeing from these girls so far tonight.
Absolutely, and you know that also comes with they led the first set. That's probably their first lead in a set for I don't know how long. Like you mentioned before, they usually come back from behind, and it's a completely different mindset from when you're ahead to when you're behind. So getting out to that hot start really helped them, I think, in that first set.
3-2. It's a 1-point lead for the Ponca Indians here in set number 2 as Voss knocks it over. Had some strong kills so far here in this second set from the Ponca Indians. Battle at the net, falls on the side of the Ponca Indians. Evans this time not set up correctly as she's been several times tonight. Gap coming the opposite way, off the top of the net. Onto the Indian side, but dish back nicely. Here comes Gap, another strong kill. Serena Gap with her 4th kill of the evening, and we're tied once again at 3 apiece.
Really strong kill there. Just keep doing that, and Vermillion's going to be in good shape the rest of this set.
Trying to grab momentum here in this second set. The Vermillion Tanagers, they have yet to officially have a lead. Evans once again had to lean backwards. Just sent it right over to O'Neal. It's time to go to the far side of the court. Ponca Indians not able to work with it. Doty, instead of making the pass, just sends it over. Evans there. Ani to flex it up. O'Neal sends it a little too far, but Vermillion able to dig it up right beyond the net once again. O'Neal has to run a far ways for it, as this one might have been going out of bounds. Good hustle play there by Kelsey, but a point for the Ponca Indians.
Yeah, like you said, good hustle play. Probably would have been close to out of bounds, but if you're going to run over there and do that, you might as well just go for it instead of hold back at the last second and be wrong.
I'd rather give up an early point like that as well with the hustle effort, not be killing yourself, instead if it was maybe 23-21, something like that. This one, another strong kill by Evans, but goes too far. Man, she has a lot of pace on it when she is set up nicely.
Yeah, it all comes down to a good pass and a good set, and you put your hitters in a good position, they're going to have a good hit.
And there she is once again, but again too far. for Evans gives 2 quick points to the Vermillion Tanagers. And Vermillion now has their first lead of this second set, 5-4. Gap up to serve. Sends it over. Ponca. Not a good couple of passes there. Have to reset something up. Voss doesn't get a whole lot of power onto it, and it works out. I don't know, Cole. Was that a misstrike there by Jensen? Her facial reaction almost says it was.
Yeah, I almost have to think it was. I don't think that was intentional, but they got the point nonetheless, so no matter how it happens, as long as you get the point, you're happy.
6-4. A partial block there by Jensen. Ani tries to send it down the line, is able to do so nicely into the student section. Just Jersey night. I think it's always Jersey night. It's always Jersey night. 7-4. Gap just hugs the net on this serve. Doty. Jensen sends it back row. Ponca able to dig it up. Evans that time popped up by O'Neal. Came back quickly down to Ani off the ceiling. Once again, set up this time, and a good kill by the Ponca Indians, and that was Ashlyn Kingsbury, the senior middle hitter.
I'm still really impressed at how fast Vermillion reacted to that ball off the ceiling. That one came down faster than it came up.
That was extremely quick. A hit off a pole just up there and just, yeah, like you said, just shot right back on down. Make a reference point here in just a moment. Miscommunication as this one falls in the middle of the Vermillion girls. Mention Kingsbury for the first time tonight. Of course, the Kingsbury family has been very big the past few years here in Ponca High School. On the basketball court and on the football field as well, with what the family has had for the past few years. Again, Ashlyn looking to be a big role player, part of this basketball team upcoming. And nice job by Jensen as she finds the middle of the defense for the Ponca Indians. And Vermillion back up by 2.
That was good awareness to just drop it right in the gap of Ponca's defense for the beautiful Vermillion point.
A couple more substitutions as O'Neal and Jensen are out. Voss and Emma are back on. And speaking of, goes back to Emma. Caught flat-footed. Point for the Ponca Indians. Emma's never really able to stay out there too long. Of course, brought up the serve, and seems like it's always over for her very quickly. 8-7. Vermillion holding on to a 1-point lead. Doty, Ani, right down the line once again, but this time a little too far, and we're tied. 8-8.
You talk about those quick substitutions. Those are usually what we call defensive specialists, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct. To mention, we forgot to bring Coach Zeller with tonight. Of course, always appreciate her help. Voss gets it right over the blockers. Ultimately, it came down to, again, didn't know if we were going to do this broadcast until 10 o'clock or 10:30 this morning. I know Cole and I didn't necessarily have it on our schedules. I think Cole might have been surprised with my text message this morning when I texted you to do some volleyball.
Yeah, that, and I was more surprised that you said it got really difficult for me to make this stream and set it up, and I had it done within 2 minutes.
That's true, you did. I was probably freaking out. I was on the road all day. I was in between text messages and phone calls and getting everything sorted out.
Yeah, he texted me about 9 times in a row, and I was like, I got this, man. Now, if it was 15 minutes later, I would have been in class, and I would not have been able to do it that fast.
Violation at the net by the Vermillion Tanagers gives a point to the Ponca Indians. Now, I will say I'm more of a choppy text messenger. I don't like to text everything in a paragraph. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Yeah, usually if I'm texting family, it'll be a paragraph. But if I'm texting anybody else, it'll be like what you did today.
Yeah, it's about 9 different text messages in a row.
Yeah.
Voss trying to get the strong kill, dug up there by the Ponca Indians, and able to get it back over. Doty once again to Voss. She just lightly taps it over this time. Voss again tried to go over the blockers, couldn't do so as it stayed on her side. Point for the Ponca Indians as they now extended up to a 2-point lead, 11-9 here in this second set.
Two really big digs there by the back row for Ponca. Really set them up nicely for that point.
Doty to Voss, another big block there by the Ponca Indians. And now set up kind of leaning backwards was Puckett. Never able to make great contact. And the Ponca Indians have their biggest lead here of this second set, now leading at 12-9. O'Neal, Doty, Voss, and Voss is able to get it in play. Point for Vermillion.
Really good pass there to set everything up, and just the set and the hit were executed perfectly. That's what happens when you get a good serve receive for Vermillion.
12-10 here in set number 2. Vermillion won set number 1, 25-23. And now the Indians, 4 hits. Another point for the Vermillion Tanagers. Talking about getting the stream set up earlier, do have to give a big shout out to Ponca. They really helped make this possible and helped us out with Wi-Fi as well tonight, so no complaints. If anything, it was probably more on me. Probably should have had my stuff more together for the weekend. And now, 4 hits is what they call against the Vermillion Tanagers. That's been kind of a common call tonight from the officials. Back up to a 2-point lead.
I think they've been right with every single call. I think those hits are just hitting the tape at the top of the net and just missing the hands of the defenders. So I think they've got them all correct so far.
O'Neal, Doty, Voss, a battle at the line. This one, as you say that, I'm a little confused at this one.
That one was Voss stepped on the line underneath the net after she hit, I believe was the call there.
14-11. 3-point lead for the Ponca Indians. Again, this is their biggest lead they've had of the second set that's tied. Miscommunication between Gap and Barnett there. Trying to dig it up, not able to do so. Point for the Indians.
Now, I am in no way a volleyball coaching expert here, but I think if I were coaching the Vermillion Tanagers right now, I'd probably take a timeout. Your defense seems to be losing their mojo almost a little bit, and their communication just seems to be non-existent in these past couple points. And Ponca's just really gotten the best of them and taken advantage of it, scoring, 6 in a row now? Something like that?
I agree with you. This is a big timeout, and just as you say,
there we go.
Coach Nelson's going to use it. 5-point lead, 16-11. We're back in just a moment here on Live Ticket TV.
Be real. You work. You worry. You wait, you wonder. These are the challenges of life on the farm. As a community bank, First Bank & Trust understands this rural reality. We're big enough to help ag producers grow for the future and small enough to get to know you right now. Our ag bankers have ag backgrounds, which means we'll help you work through the tough years and make the most of the great ones. First Bank & Trust. Real banking, real easy. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
A little bit of a late call there from the officials, but took a clear deflection. The Vermillion Tanagers, after the timeout from Coach Nelson, are able to get a big point. They now trail by 4, 16-12 with Voss up to serve. Cole Larsh, our producer. I'm Heath Nimke. Great to have you along here on this Tuesday evening. Big block there by the Vermillion Tanagers. Voss in there along with Puckett. 2 quick points. Answer back by the Vermillion Tanagers. And smiles starting to come in once again.
On my last play, in the wise words of Coach Zeller, the blockers got right up close to that net, so that block went on the other side, not their own side.
Oh, gotta love Coach Zeller. Of course, again, can't say enough of just the expert advice that I think you and I have learned from Coach Zeller.
Absolutely.
I've learned a lot more with Coach Zeller broadcasting games with her than I've ever learned playing this game of volleyball. In rec league, all you do is get the ball over. And now, Doty wasn't quite for sure if she wanted to make a pass there or just get it over herself. Kind of a late decision by her own. Costly point.
I think she was kind of second-guessing herself with how close she was to the net, too. And that's just what happened there.
Ani has to make the big dig, able to do so. Ponca comes back. Ani another big dig at the net. Puckett can't get it out. 18-13, back up to a 5-point lead here for the Ponca Indians.
And here's where we need to see Vermillion dig in and get out of this hole themselves. 2 timeouts back-to-back like this are going to hurt you more than they help you, I think, in this situation.
And now Jensen sends this one too far, up to a 6-point lead. This is where Vermillion, though, has had success at points this season, is making comebacks like this. Voss, Jensen, right down the throat of the Ponca Indians, and that one was a big kill.
And it all started with a good pass off the serve. Got a good pass, set up Doty nicely right by the net, and the kill went right down to where it needed to be. So if you get a good serve receive and get your setters and hitters in the right spot, you can go a long ways.
19-14. Emma up to serve, needs to get something going for the Tanagers. Trailing by 5. Evans, big block though. Wow, by Jensen. Well, that doesn't give you a little bit of momentum. I don't know what will.
Yeah, that was a really nice block. Got up there, got the hands just over the net, so it deflected straight down.
Of course, Grayson Evans has been huge for the Ponca Indians. This time she just pops it over. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful play that time. Emma Willard dug it up. Voss just on a little bit of a hook with her hand, knocks it over. Another big point, drawing the Ponca defense unaware. 19-16, a 3-point lead, miscommunication. O'Neal pushes Barnett out of the way, able to get it over. Now they're at the net. Ani sets it up. Doty to Gap. Gap, is that the head of Kingsbury? Might have been. And now Evans, deflection by Doty, goes out of bounds. Point for Ponca.
That was just a really good hit by Ponca to get that hit on the outside of Doty's hands there right along the line. So if Doty misses it, that's straight down the line. But she didn't miss it, and Ponca got the deflection out of bounds.
20-16. Knocked over as Doty has to make the play. Able to dig it out and not able to do it a second time. Back up to a 5-point lead. Well, Vermillion wants to make a comeback, win this second set. They need to do so right now. This has been 2 straight points here for the Ponca Indians. They try to finish it off in this second set again. Set 1 went to Vermillion, 25-23. Jensen gets it over. Evans, O'Neal there for Vermillion. Gap tries to go down the line, not able to do so.
And now Ponca's at Coach Zeller's magic number, 22.
Trailing by 6, the Tanagers. Gap, O'Neal, back to Gap, trying to go down that line once again. Good look there, just not able to quite finish it off. And jumping way too early, was Kingsbury, and she just tried to knock that over as she was on her way back down.
Just mistimed it a little bit, and she realized once she got in the air, like, oh, I'm way too early, so just try to make something going.
And now a service error there by Serena Gap. Come out for a little bit of flag football tomorrow, Cole. You might see Heath make two of those moves with a lob ball. I'll jump way too early. Become a defenseman instead of a wide receiver. Back-to-back service errors. 23-18. Voss and Emma back on. Emma Bonsack back on for the Vermillion Tanagers. Well, Emma needs to put something together along with this Tanagers offense. Back row, in between 2, point for the Ponca Indians.
And Ponca received that serve really well. Good pass set up that play right there. It's amazing what happens when you have good serve receive and bad serve receive, and we've seen that. We've seen both sides of that from both sides in this second set, and it just seems like Vermillion's serve receive's been a little off this set, and the score shows that.
Well, try and take. Now, set number 2, the Ponca Indians. Doty to Voss. Voss down the line, dug up there by McAfee, but the Indians eventually send it into the net. Set point continues for the Ponca Indians with Claire Doty, though, up to serve. Certainly the most dangerous server the Tanagers have. Doty gets it over. Back row to Evans, set up nicely. This one finds the gap, just poked over though. O'Neal can't dig it up. Ponca takes set number 2, 25-19. Vermillion takes set number 1, 25-23. Ponca set number 2, 25-19. We're back with set number 3 tied at 1 apiece here in just a moment.
Limestone. Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Vermillion takes set number 1, 25-23. The Ponca Indians respond by taking set number 2, 25-19. We move into set number 3 along with producer, color man for tonight, Cole Larsh. I'm Heath Nimke. Cole, I promised you that it was coming soon last week, and it is upon us. The hockey season is officially underway. Right now, tied 1-1 when it comes to scores between Tampa Bay and the New York Rangers. Also 1-1 between the New York Yankees and the Cleveland Guardians. And some baseball action. I don't follow baseball anymore after my team was eliminated last week. Battle at the net as we're underway for set number 3. Claire Doty sets up. Trying to get a strong kill by the Ponca Indians. Not able to do so. Set once again. They're trying to look for Samantha. No, they'll go all the way to the near side with Claire Burrell. But the rally continues. Indians, though. Samantha, and finally takes an awkward deflection off of us. Point for the Ponca Indians.
I'm glad that hockey season started back up. Can't wait to watch the old Minnesota Wild.
We gotta go check out ourselves a game sometime. We should do that in our gap break that we have.
Between seasons?
Yeah, between seasons.
Well, you know I still have school, right?
You're fine. You're fine. You go to the U. I know some people. I can help you out if anything goes wrong, all right? 1-1. Oh, trying to get the big kill there. Samantha just sends it into the net. Cole, this one's got to be important. You want to start off on a good note if you're the Vermillion Tanagers. Try to get up early on the Ponca Indians, kind of like they did in set number 1.
That's what I was just going to say.
Big ace.
In set number 1, they got off hot, won the set. Set number 2, they came out flat, lost the set. That's kind of what we've seen all season from the Tanagers as well. Is in the sets they start off good, they compete a lot harder and sometimes win them. Then most of the time when they come out flat, it doesn't usually end well for them.
And now trying to get a big block there. Samantha just goes off her left hand. And as you mentioned, Vermillion off to a quick 4-1 lead here in set number 3. Big dig at there by McAfee. 2 girls go down to dig. Gap just sends it over for the Vermillion Tanagers. The Indians come once again. Oh, ping pong back and forth there. Doty just couldn't quite get it up. Point for the Indians.
I almost thought that hit glanced the antenna, but I don't. We have a weird angle from this side at this angle, so it probably didn't.
Claire Doty, Voss, battle at the net, wins it against Samantha. A no internet connection or no internet hookup is what the explanation is why we never go over to the weight room side. Because you look at it, you would say we should probably be on the weight room side, if anything. But that's why they do have a hard wire here for us, but couldn't connect to it at the time as it was being used. Otherwise, they do allow us that. A little bit closer of an angle than a camera that's way above us, a huddle camera that the Ponca school uses. I don't know, I'd rather see a closer view of all the girls. All the players, makes it a little bit easier to see. O'Neal, big dig there. And Voss, wow, what a great play. She's had strong kills all game long. Just a simple tap. Evans wasn't prepared. Another big point for the Vermillion Tanagers.
That was good in recognition, knowing that Ponca's kind of been playing off, knowing that big kill's on its way. And that one just goes into the net, but knowing that the big kill's in the way, Ponca kind of plays back in more defense mode. Just a nice tip over, finds the gap in the front line.
7-3. Claire Doty, oh my goodness. I'll tell you what, her kills scare me.
Yeah, I'd be getting out of the way if I was on the other side of them. That reminds me when the only experience I have with this is whenever we played volleyball during homecoming. We always had the volleyball girls play against the football boys, and once those volleyball girls got down, they just started jumping up and swinging hard, and you just had to get out of the way or you're going to get a dent in your face.
Cross court this time works for the Ponca Indians. They get a big point there, 8-4. Voss has come with a lot of power here in this game. Just a great player overall. Brooklyn Voss, junior this year. Of course, she's going to be huge on the basketball court as well coming up this season. Dug up by Barnett, Doty, Serena Gap. So it's sent a little too far now. 8-6. Don't want to put pressure on the girls' basketball season by any means, but I feel like they're going to have a lot of high expectation of trying to see if they can't make it to a state tournament this year. After they came so close last year with such a young team. Doty can't get the dig right in front of the bench. Ponca has climbed back in this. Now trailing by 2, 8-6.
It's almost exactly what we saw in set number 1. Vermillion started out big, Ponca kind of came back, but then Vermillion laid the hammer down later in the set.
Popped up. Ani takes a wrong deflection off for her. She was down, uses the wrong side of her arm. And a big point once again for the Ponca Indians, now 8-7. Yeah, I hate to see this. The Ponca Indians, they didn't bend early here in this set, and they have just been sticking right with the Tanagers ever since. Now battle at the net, popped up, and a point for Vermillion.
And you could kind of notice on this camera angle, we're right down the net, and you could see the Ponca defenders up front were just off the net. So that's why that ball came down on their side, not on Vermillion's side.
And Willer up to serve as she just checked on. for the Vermillion Tanagers. Deflection there. So it goes away from Emma. She had no play on it. Point for the Ponca Indians. And now Grayson Evans up to serve. Trying to tie it up. We have not been tied since we were at double zeros here in this third set. Play at the net here. Just sent over. Pass. Jensen sends it over to Evans. Kingsbury just knocks it over. Emma digs it up. It's played to Gap. She sends it over for the Vermillion Tanagers. Ponca comes once again. They go back row. O'Neal, no one's going to be able to get to it, and we're tied at 9 apiece. Well, in set number 3 here, where Vermillion and Ponca are tied at 1 apiece, or tied. Now a service error gives a point right back to the Vermillion Tanagers. Cole Larsh over there having a little bit of a coughing misfit. This is what happens when you skip out on doing work and you decide to go party instead.
Right.
Did you enjoy yourself this past Saturday, young man?
Well, of course. I mean, the football game was the low light of the weekend, but it's what I expected, honestly, going into it, so I was not surprised at all. I was just surprised we hung on to a 3-0 lead for about 15 minutes.
10-10 here in set number 3. Yeah, not the best of games for USD, especially different opportunities for them to get some touchdowns and not able to do so. Otherwise, you had some fun in Brookings, didn't cause too much havoc. I see the town is still upright, so you didn't burn it down.
Nope. I had to make sure it's still standing for a couple of years now. Then when USD goes back and plays them again, there's no promises.
All right. A big ace there this time from Ellie McAfee. 2-point lead now for the Ponca Indians, 12-10, and O'Neal gives up another ace. 13-10 as the Ponca Indians starting to take control here in this third set. O'Neal, right pop up to Samantha. She sends it right back over, another point.
Now again, I must preface this by saying I am in no means a volleyball coaching expert, but Vermillion just seems a little off these past 8 or so points as they get bailed out there by a block out of bounds. But I was just going to say, in the next point or two, if Ponca scores them both, I'd take a timeout here. But Vermillion got a point and a little bit of momentum back, so don't take my word for it yet.
I'm just kind of watching the communication right now between Nelson and O'Neal, Coach Nelson and O'Neal. Kind of watching that communication that happens. And this one, off balance. I don't think Claire was quite in the right position. Bailed out was Emma Bonsack, and she just got it right over the net. And a big point there for the Vermillion Tanagers. 14-12 and a service error. But going back to that, O'Neal just is so frustrated with herself right now that she's so far into her own head that she really needs to get out of it, because this is not even over with. This is even close to being over with in this third set. Mistakes happen in a game. It's okay to let that happen. Just got to bounce back and respond back with your team out there. Gap, Doty, Voss sends it back row. Ponca, battle up the net, blocked O'Neal, and they're going to call a double hit. Double hit they call against Brooklyn Voss. Now remember, Claire Doty goes over to the near official. She is the only one that can do this. She can have that conversation with the official as the captain. He didn't really was open for debate or discussion there, though. He was kind of shut down to that one. Voss tries to get the hard kill, but McAfee able to dig it up once again. Voss, this time, gets a mistouch and sends it into her own side of the net.
And now, I must preface this by saying I'm no rules expert either. However, I think that in that situation, the captain can get an explanation and maybe a short discussion, but I don't think they can overturn it.
Surely, yeah.
At least I've never seen that in my experience. Granted, it's not very long, but
I've seen coaches be able to overturn calls before.
yes, I have seen that once where they got the officials to communicate and talk it out, but I don't think as a captain you can get that overturned. You can just get a discussion.
18-13 as Claire Doty gets a big point there for the Vermillion Tanagers. She sent it across court and over to the corner. Vermillion needs to get something going, though, right now in this third set. They start off early on a 7-2 lead at one point here in this third set. Punched up in the air. Evans just gets it over for the Ponca Indians. Voss tries to get the strong kill, not able to do so. McAfee gets back over. O'Neal, Doty, Voss. This one, the hard kill. Point for Vermillion. No, they're going to say a net violation this time. I feel like other calls that could have gone against Vermillion haven't, but that time I didn't see the net really move.
Yeah, and I guess thinking back to it, it is something that Voss has done kind of all game. Not really in the second set, but in the first set, really, where the Ponca coaches are really calling for it. But just seems like as her hand's coming down, she's just grazing the net, and I think that's what Ponca wants them to get called. And I think that's what they did get called.
Timeout.
That last point.
From Coach Zeller, 20-13 here in set number 3, a 7-point lead for the Ponca Indians. We're back in just a moment here on Live Ticket TV.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Oh, that was a little bit of a head nod. Sometimes you just get the weirdest, the darndest text messages so late at night. Back into action here, 4 hits. That'll go against the Vermillion Tanagers. I don't even know where that text message just came from. I'm going to explain it to you. That's just a weird text message I just got. I don't even know how that had to do anything with life where I'm at right now. 21-13, an 8-point lead. This is the biggest lead we have seen for either team so far tonight. The Ponca Indians try to win set number 3. This one too far and out of balance. Even with a 7-point lead, Cole, I mean, you still feel like Vermillion can make a comeback here.
They definitely can. It's just a matter of if they can have the self-determination to do it. Coming out of the timeout, you might gain a little bit of momentum with that point, but you got to play really solid defense against this heavy-hitting Ponca front line.
Evans thought that one was close to the antenna, but no call there. Gap sends it back row. Samantha. Doty digs it up. O'Neal tries to get it over, able to do so. Battle at the net, and this one is going to be a point for the Ponca Indians as Puckett made contact with the net again. What a great play there by the Vermillion Tanagers, but again, another net violation. Not able to finish it off. And is there 4 hits? Nope, just a simple point for the Ponca Indians, 23-14. Well, we thought had that opportunity of making a comeback. Vermillion's just going to have to try to see if they can't finish things off. And they comebacks in the 4th and 5th set right now. 24-14. Vermillion really needs to bounce back after this set, after again being up 1.7-2 to open this thing one up. Doty, Barnett. Puckett gets it over. Here come the Ponca Indians with Evans blocked right back down by Puckett. Set stays alive for the Vermillion Tanagers.
That's exactly the big point you want. Big block up front. And I don't know if Vermillion can quite make the 11-point comeback that they need to win this set, but that's why you play the game, right? There's the old announcer's curse right there.
The old commentator's curse. Thank you, Cole Harsh. 25-14 in that third set. We go to set number 4. But Vermillion now trailing 2-1 against the Ponca Indians. That comes up here in just a moment on Live Ticket TV.
Let's be real. You work. You worry. You wait. You wonder. These are the challenges of life on the farm. As a community bank, First Bank & Trust understands this rural reality. They're big enough to help ag producers grow for the future and small enough to get to know you right now. Our ag bankers have ag backgrounds, which means we'll help you work through the tough years and make the most of the great ones. First Bank & Trust. Real banking, real easy.
Farmers know crop insurance is essential for managing risk. It's also valuable for maximizing revenue. The crop insurance officers at Farm Credit Services of America have proprietary tools and expertise to deliver the personalized crop and revenue protection you need for the peace of mind you want. Nobody delivers crop insurance like this. Discover the difference by calling 800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here.
Times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Well, we moved to set number 4 after Vermillion opened up 25-23 in set number 1. It has been the Ponca Indians, especially in that third set where they able to get a big blowout victory. Set number 3 over the Vermillion Tanagers, finishing off 25-14. And, well, Claire Doty will be up to serve once again for the Vermillion Tanagers. Now Vermillion facing a deficit of which they need to win out here in this 4th and 5th set if they want to win tonight. Again, looking for their first win in the month of October. Barnett sends it down the line. McAfee, though, a strong dig. She has been diving all over the court all night long as well. Kind of unique jerseys as well. I haven't really brought this up much, Cole. It's Ponca Indians wear short sleeves jerseys, at least with the pink uniforms. Whereas you see a lot more in volleyball, you wear those long sleeves to have that protection against the arms when diving. Another big point for the Indians. They now lead it 2-0. But for some of the Ponca Indian girls, they have those kind of sleeves that have the extra padding in them, help them dive down. Otherwise, wearing short sleeves with the pink uniforms.
I will say at my alma mater, the normal jerseys were usually short sleeve.
Were they?
Yes. And it was typically the special occasion jerseys that were long sleeve.
Interesting. This one takes a clip over the net. Point for Vermillion. As Arnie Barnett is up to serve. Now tied at 2-2 apiece.
But you did mention those arm sleeves, and with those short sleeve jerseys, almost everybody wore those arm sleeves with the elbow pads.
Yep. And now play over cross court. Lands inside. 3-2. Ponca leading it. Again, Ponca 2-1 over the Vermillion Tanagers. Up to serve are the Indians right now. Barnett digs it up. Doty looked like it was played right to her at the net. She wanted to get it back. Miscommunication, and she played it back to nobody.
Yeah, and that pass was just too close to the net for Doty to do anything good with it. So she's just trying to get it up and give her teammates a chance at the ball because she knew that she had no chance of getting a good set.
Service error, 4-3. Vermillion trailing by 1, again needing to win the 4th and 5th set here. They want to find a victory tonight. Again, things are going to certainly be difficult for the Vermillion Tanagers upcoming days. Barnett runs into the crowd there, almost ran into a Ponca Indian fan who's trying to take their seat. Again, great crowd tonight for the Ponca Indians. Of course, the traditional colors here at Ponca High School are blue and white. Big block at the net by Ashlyn Kingsbury. 6-3 now to the Ponca Indians.
The front line for Ponca has been really solid all game, and it's definitely played a huge impact. Both their hitters getting the solid kills down and their blockers up front really shutting down anything Vermillion wants to do.
There's been a little bit of a size difference as well. It's not a huge size difference. A little bit of a size difference that belongs to the Ponca Indians. Miscommunication there. Another point for Ponca Indians, now leading it by 4. Doty, Barnett, back to Samantha in the back row. Evans comes across the big block, but falls on the side of Vermillion with Puckett and a point once again, the Ponca Indians.
That one just seemed to take a weird deflection off the hands, and it came straight down and got Puckett right in the head.
8-3. This one at the net. Point for the Ponca Indians.
Well, go ahead.
I was going to just say quick score updates. Actually, let's get to those score updates. Cole, do you have anything to say?
Well, I was going to say that front line for Ponca, right? Again, I mentioned it before, and there's another huge block up there for Ponca.
6-point lead, 9-3. Vermillion takes the timeout, trying to get back into it. We're back here in just a moment here on Live Ticket TV. Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV. Nine to 3 it's set number 4, the Ponca Indians. Up to serve with Samantha. She gets it over, serves it right to Serena Gap. Doty back to Gap, who looks for that back row, not able to do so. And a point for the Ponca Indians. Well, as I mentioned, score updates earlier. Sioux Falls Christian, number 1 seed in Class 11A, defeats Tri-Valley in 3 sets, 25-11, 25-1, 25-10.
You say 25-1? That's got to be a typo.
I was thinking the same thing. Not that I'm saying Sioux Falls Christian couldn't do it, but that doesn't seem right.
Well, about half of me thinks that it's real, and half of me thinks that somebody just didn't finish typing in the score at the end of the set.
That's what I have a feeling as well. Now, the Mustangs are 4-12 overall. They're not like they're the worst team out there. And we've actually brought this up before. To score 1 point at the varsity level, to be that perfect during a set as well, that's saying something.
It is. And however, if you're playing Sioux Falls Christian, anything's possible.
That is true. Other score updates. Number 4, Canton leads over Parker 1-0. In the second set, they lead it 20-7.
Okay, so I've just done a little bit of research.
Oh my goodness, it's not true, is it?
That second set score was typed incorrectly.
Okay. What was the final score?
25-1.
Oh, it was correct, you said.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh, I thought you said incorrect.
No. The SD Scores app was indeed accurate.
Oh, boy. Well, that was not a good second set there for Tri-Valley.
No, it was not. I'm just going to double check here. Yes, it was. 25-1. You can see it up there.
Wow. Wow.
But that is just how good Sioux Falls Christian is.
Oak Point Jefferson beat South Sioux City tonight, 3-0. Del Rapids also beat DeBrook area 3-0 tonight in action. Big block there by the Ponca Indians as this one quickly starting to open up for the Indians.
And it just seems like the Tanagers just aren't there right now. It is night and day compared to what they were like in the first set.
Yeah, completely. The smiles have left. The smiles are just gone. No one's joking around out there anymore. And it's just frustration. All blaming themselves, really. This one, trying to get the big dig. McAfee not able to do so, 13-6. Vermillion trailing by 7 here in set number 4. Again, not out of it, but they certainly need to get things moving along. Ponca, big block there by Voss and Doty. Sent over, Doty, Voss sets it up, blocked by the Ponca Indians. Doty, here comes Ponca the opposite way, and 4 hits. Well, speaking of volleyball action here on Live Ticket TV, don't forget we'll have more for you coming up on Thursday. And then, not quite for sure the full details, but we'll make sure we share those out with you when it comes to the DAC-12 Conference being hosted in West Central. Otherwise, our action continues to wrap up the season kind of all around the place. We'll have football for you on Friday night with pregame beginning at 6 o'clock and the kickoff set for 7 against the Madison Bulldogs. Voss tries to get the big kill, unable to do so. Blocked there at the net. Point for Vermillion.
Now Vermillion's got a little bit of spark of life, but they're still down 8 in this 4th set.
Unfortunate, we don't have any soccer news to report for you either. Talking about state title games that were supposed to be played this Saturday. I guess they are going to be played this Saturday, I should say. Just unfortunate, Vermillion boys or girls will not be participating in those. And this one, 4 hits against the Ponca Indians. Point for Vermillion. Girls fell against the West Central team on Saturday 4-0, and back and forth affair at Veteran Sports Complex, but St. Thomas More was able to beat the Vermillion boys 6-3. Cole Larsh missed himself a 9-goal game. Evans serves over for the Ponca Indians. Doty, Barnett. Rally continues. Samantha just pokes it over, finds the gap in the defense.
That was good like you said, good awareness to find the gap in that Vermillion defense. Just everybody was surrounding that spot, but nobody was there.
Ponca has now doubled up the Vermillion Tanagers, 16-8. Over. Barnett, O'Neal. Puckett just sends it over. Indians come, try to go across court. Deflection on the block at the net. Barnett can't do anything with it. Point for the Indians. Other score updates. Chester area from Class B beat West Central tonight in 3-0. Also in Class B, the number 4 team, Northwestern, leads it over Florence Henry 2-1. 18-8 here in set number 4. Again, Vermillion won set number 1, 25-23. But it has been the Ponca Indians ever since, including dominating that third set. After Vermillion opened up with a 7-2 lead. Strong kill this time. Vermillion isn't going to go quietly into the night. Luckily for Cole Larsh, myself, and the Vermillion fans, no matter what happens tonight, the wind will blow us back home.
Yes, it will.
Service error, back up to a 10-point lead for the Ponca Indians. Supposed to be very blustery out there coming up tomorrow as well. Big thank you to our sponsors for bringing you tonight's action here on Live Ticket TV, including Chic Boutique with Kristen and Company in Centerville, South Dakota. You can treat Kristen's Closet like your own, enjoy refreshments while shopping and relaxing with your gal pals. They would love to have you. You can text Kristen at 605-231-1610 to book your private shopping event, or just stop by anytime as they have their regular hours. Like them out there on Facebook. They're a great boutique in Centerville, South Dakota. If you would also like to advertise on Live Ticket TV, you can certainly do so. Of course, Live Ticket TV is your new home for Vermillion athletics, including everything through the sports seasons, including coming up for the winter, wrestling, basketball, gymnastics. During the spring, we'll have some softball for you, and then this summer, we will have baseball for you before we get started all back in the fall season once again with volleyball, soccer, football. And of course, have you up plenty covered with the other activities going on as well. Best of luck we want to wish to the cross-country team as they partake in the region tournament to make it to state tomorrow. We'd love to, on Thursday, if you can, make it out to the Bluffs Golf Course. That's actually where that will be happening at. So go on, cheer on the cross-country team. Again, that is coming up on Thursday. The region tournament to make it to state. 20-10 here in action. Also, don't forget, Point for Vermillion, big event coming up this Friday as well. It's the Tanagers touchdown tailgate that begins at 5:30 until kickoff. Come tailgate with the Vermillion Public School Foundation. Enjoy games and chili. Free will donations will support field trips and other great learning activities, all for the Vermillion Public Schools. Big block there by Puckett for the Vermillion Tanagers. 20-12, Voss up to serve.
You know, that chili at 5:30 on Friday sounds really good.
Well, you can have some, sir.
I'm going to be in the dome by then.
We could probably do some camera work for you. You weren't there this past week to set up.
That is true. It was all set up when I was there.
Barnett gets the dig. Gap sends it over. 21-12. Block there at the net. Big point for the Vermillion Tanagers. Maybe if we ask nicely enough, they could bring some chili inside to us. I know some people again. I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a girl. Might be able to make some text messages, get ourselves some chili. Evans, O'Neal, Baylor, Gap. Able to get it over. 21-13. Strong kill there for the Ponca Indians with Kingsbury. Ponca Indians trying to finish this one off. Looks like Vermillion's going to fall 3-1 here in Ponca, Nebraska. It's been great having you along here, part of this broadcast this evening tonight here on Live Ticket TV. Don't forget to download the Live Ticket TV app as well. You can find your favorite schools all across the state of South Dakota in one convenient location and watch all the different sporting activities across the state. 22-13, just tapped over, dug up once again Barnett still on the ground, and Gap sends it into the net. 23-13. What has been great crowd on hand for both squads tonight. The Indians in front of their home crowd trying to finish it off here in this fourth set. This one, big kill. We're now up to game point. 24-13. Ponca Indians trying to finish this one off. Barnett, Doty, Gap, right in between two defenders. Point Vermillion. Again, Vermillion won set number 1, 25-23. Ponca took set number 2, 25-19. Ponca took set number 3, 25-14. Ave Evans into the back corner. Point for the Ponca Indians. And the Indians get the victory over the Vermillion Tanagers tonight. 3-1 with your final score, 25-14. Again, recap set action tonight. Vermillion takes set number 1, 25-23. Ponca takes set number 2, 25-19. Ponca takes sets 3 and 4, 24-14. Cole, any final thoughts for you on this Tuesday evening?
Well, Vermillion came out really good in that first set. Second set came out flat. Third set they came out good, just couldn't quite finish it after Ponca went on that big run in the fourth set. It just seemed like they were flat the entire way.
Well, the Vermillion Tanagers will look to bounce back as they take on ranked Canton coming up this Thursday. We'll have all the coverage for you right back here on Live Ticket TV. For Cole Larsch, I'm Heath Nimke. You've been listening to Tanager Volleyball. Until Thursday, have yourself a wonderful rest of your evening.